Flush the toilet. Don't forget to flush the toilet. Are you sure you know what happens next? Hey there! Welcome to my channel. Join me along with these preschoolers as we conduct fun science experiments and learn what the world would be like if. Today's question comes from one of our viewers who asked, where does the poo go when you flush the toilet? Well, today we are going to find out exactly where it goes in a special episode of Toilet Tales. Sammy the sewer rat is back again for another exciting adventure. But he's got a brand new look and a much bigger challenge. Sammy lives in a big city and there are lots of toilets around, which means there's lots of poopy adventures for him to go on. But he has a problem. You see, Sammy's fur is very long and luscious and also orange. And every time he goes on a poopy adventure, he ends up covered in dirt and his fur gets all matted. So before he can go on any more adventures, he needs to get a bath. And this time, Sammy decides to take a bath in the toilet. As soon as Sammy steps into the bowl, he presses the flush button. Whoops! The water starts swirling around him and he's flushed away down the pipe. Where will he end up? Is he headed to the big city dump? Will he end up in the river? Or perhaps he could even be flushed into outer space. That sounds awful. What will happen to Sammy? Let's flush away those toilet tales and find out. The first thing that happens is that the poo gets mixed in with the water. This helps to break up any solid poo into smaller pieces. Then the poo and the water mix together and start making their way through the S-curve trapway. This is the curved pipe that sits underneath your toilet bowl, and it prevents sewer gases from entering your home. Once the poo makes it through the trapway, it enters the drain pipe. In larger cities, there might be several toilets connected to the same drain pipe. So now Sammy is on a wild ride, floating past toilets, sinks and bathtubs, all in search of the nearest manhole. Sammy is on a wild ride, floating past toilets, sinks and bathtubs, all in search of the nearest manhole. Manholes are openings in the streets that allow workers to enter the sewer. They're also how the sewage makes its way above ground. All the while, gravity is doing most of the work, helping the poo make its way through the sewer. But in some cases, like if it's raining heavily or there's a big storm, there could be too much water in the sewers and not enough room for more. Yikes! When this happens, many wastewater systems have pumps to help push the sewage along. Just like Sammy, these pumps use energy to move the sewage through the pipes. Municipalities work hard to make sure there is enough capacity in the sewer system to handle all the waste without overflows. However, during really intense storms, sometimes the sewers do overflow and the raw sewage ends up being released into the environment. To prevent this, some cities use combined sewer overflows or CSOs. These separate stormwater drains from the sewer lines. The stormwater drains carry away rainfall and snowmelt while the sewers carry away wastewater. If you want to learn more about CSOs, check out the link in the description below. Back in the sewer, Sammy is still looking for an exit. He swims past manhole No. 1, then manhole No. 2. And soon he sees a big beautiful waterfall up ahead. If he can reach that, he'll be free of the sewer and back home. But he is getting tired and he doesn't think he has enough energy to make it all the way there. Will he ever escape the sewers? Only one way to find out. Let's flush away those toilet tales and keep swimming. After passing even more manholes, Sammy starts to get excited because he sees light in the distance. There is an opening in the pipe and he thinks he'll finally get a chance to breathe some fresh air, but instead he finds himself inside a giant concrete box. A worker walks by and yells, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Sammy quickly hides under a nearby ladder. He's not sure what's going to happen next, but he knows he needs to keep moving. Sammy sneaks over to a nearby manhole and climbs up to the street. He shakes off all the dirt and grime and scurries across the road. Where did he end up? You guessed it, the wastewater treatment plant. Treatment plants are where the water and all that solid waste ends up after being flushed. The water needs to be cleaned before it can be released back into the environment. This keeps our rivers, lakes, and oceans safe and healthy for us and other wildlife. And it turns out the treatment plant is full of surprises. At the wastewater treatment plant, Sammy meets a goofy crew of characters who help explain how the cleaning process works. First, the water and solid waste go through a series of screens that catch large debris like sticks and rags. Next, the mixture goes into a huge tank where it's mixed with air and sand. Tiny bacteria living in the sand eat the waste and other harmful stuff, cleaning the water. Finally, the clean water goes into a holding basin before it's pumped back into the river. The whole process takes about 2 days. But where does the leftover stuff go? After the water is clean, the solids are left behind in the basins. Workers periodically scoop them up and load them onto trucks. The trucks then take the sludge to a nearby farm where it's used as fertilizer. The circle of life is real at this wastewater treatment plant. After learning all about how wastewater is treated, Sammy feels great. He gives the goofy crew a big thanks and runs off to tell his friends all about his exciting adventure. Flushing toilets may seem simple, but there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes to keep our water clean and our cities healthy. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Toilet Tales. If you want to learn more about how wastewater is treated, check out the link in the description below. Now let's clean up our mess. After his big adventure, Sammy is dirty and tired. He takes off his clothes and washes them in the sink. Then he scrubs his hair until his orange fur is shiny and bright. After a long day of traveling through the sewers, this feels great. He puts on his favorite t-shirt and pants, brushes his teeth, and gets into bed. It's been a long day, and Sammy is ready to sleep. Before he drifts off, though, he thinks about all the things he's learned. He knows that when he flushes the toilet, the poo doesn't just disappear. It goes on a wild ride through the sewers and eventually gets clean at the wastewater treatment plant. Now that he knows where it goes, Sammy will never flush his poo down the toilet again. Instead, he'll take it to the big city dump where it belongs. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drive.Kiki, and this is my channel. We love making science fun and engaging for kids like you. And we have lots of videos available right here on this channel. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on all the fun. Check out this video where we grow crystals from a kitchen staple and find out just how strong they are. Or watch this video where we turn milk into plastic. Click on that thumbs up button if you'd like to see more. And remember, you can flush the toilet, but where does the poo go?